Day 24. Here we are. Cafcass interviews, past, learning, and forward action. Most parents fail before the call's even ended, actually, to be honest with you. Now, like usual, I'm going to tell you something that might sting a little bit. Not too much, but enough. If you walk into a safeguarding Cafcass interview or answer a telephone to a Cafcass interview, safeguarding interview, thinking it's about telling them your story, you've already lost control of the process. Not because you're wrong, not because you're lying, but because Cafcass is not there to judge the truth. They are there to predict future risk. And today, day 24, is where I'm going to show you exactly how that works. The first thing you need to understand is Cafcass interviews are not investigations. They are not therapy sessions. Absolutely not therapy sessions. Yeah. They are not platforms for justice. They are risk filtering conversations. The officer on that call has one silent question running in the background. If I recommend less control here, could this decision come back and haunt me? That's it. That's the entire game. Why the past is a trap. Most parents spend 80 to 90% of the interview talking about the past. What happened? What was done to them? What the other parent lied about? What the system got wrong. And I get it. Of course, you want to explain. I get it. But here's the brutal truth. The more time you spend in the past, the more risk you signal. And why? Because the past cannot be controlled, and Cafcass does not manage truth, they manage uncertainty. And when you stay emotionally anchored in the past, the officer hears unresolved conflict, emotional volatility, ongoing grievance, potential for future escalation, even if every word you say is factually correct. That's why parents say, I told them everything and it still went against me. Yes, that's right. You told them because you told them everything, because you played the wrong phase of the interview. What Cafcass is actually listening for. Cafcass interviews follow a 3-layer evaluation. Whether they admit it or not, this is what it is. Past, what happened? Learning, what changed inside you? Forward action, what you will do under pressure. Most parents never leave stage 1. Professionals do. Now, stage 1, the past. Minimize, don't deny. Here's the counterintuitive rule. You do not need to prove the past in a Cafcass interview. That's what court evidence and fact-finding hearings are there for. In the interview, your job is simply to show the following. You can acknowledge the past without reliving it, without blaming, without being emotional, without the emotional overflow. The safest sentence structure sounds like this. There have been difficulties historically, and I recognize that conflict has affected everyone involved. Not, let me explain what she did. I need you to understand the lies. The system has failed me. All that's nonsense. That comes later, if at all. Stage 2, learning. This is where cases turn. I promise you, this is the part nobody teaches you. Cafcass officers are trained to look for learning capacity, not innocence. They want to hear insight, reflection, regulation, change, not perfection. And here's the key distinction. I did nothing wrong is the wrong thing to say. I reflected on how the situation escalated and I could do things differently now going forward, especially if you're falsely accused. Why? Let me tell you why. Because learning signals future predictability, and predictability equals safety in institutional thinking. Come on. Stage 3. Forward action, the only part that really matters. This is where cases move, or forward action answers the unspoken question. If conflict reappears tomorrow, what will this parent actually do? Not what they hope to do, not what they feel, but what will they do? What will they operationally do? Strong forward action answers include clear boundaries, calm decision-making, use of third parties, willingness to follow structured processes. For example, if concerns arise, I would seek resolution through appropriate channels rather than direct a confrontation, keeping communication child-focused and proportionate. That sentence alone does more for your case than 30 minutes of explaining the past. The biggest mistake, defending yourself. Now listen carefully. The more you defend yourself in a Cafcass interview, the more they hear instability. Defense sounds like justification, over detail, emotion heavy explanations. Attempts to convince safety sounds like brevity, neutrality, insight, forward planning. This is why calm parents outperform truthful, emotional ones. Not because the system is fair, but because the system is risk averse. So why some parents do nothing and still win? You've seen it. One parent is silent, dull, boring. Their position strengthens. Why? Well, you've done the last 23 days because doing nothing is often perceived as the lowest risk option. Cafcass does not reward activity, they reward containment. That's uncomfortable, but it's real. And the golden rule of day 24 Cafcass interviews are not about proving innocence, exposing lies, winning arguments. They are about this. Is this parent safe enough, to calm enough, and predictable enough to loosen control around? If you understand that, you stop oversharing, you stop over-explaining, you stop sabotaging yourself. And I'll say this, day 24 is where emotionally intelligent parents separate from emotionally reactive ones. Not because one loves their child more, but because one understands the language of the system. Tomorrow, in the next video, we move into what happens after Cafcass speaks, how reports are written, softened, and strategically vague. That's day 25. The lesson on this video, and there's a lot to do here, right? But there should be around this video at some point. If it's not straight away, it will be soon. Questions and answers, typical questions and answers that Cafcass will ask you during your safeguarding interview, and best possible answers. May not be there straight away, but it will be there within the next 24 to 48 hours from the 31st of January, 2026. Until next time, day 25. Buongiorno.